I have been blessed in my life to look at sights like these through the window and then drift off to sleep, and sometimes find the startling chill in the morning and amazing beauty of an unexpected snowfall. And I've spent many hours cycling and walking down paths like these as part of my commute to work and to get supplies. I've even spent a lockdown with this lot as my noisy neighbours. My name is Dan Brown, and even though by many people's standards I've probably failed to hit many of the mainstream life milestones that people would expect, somehow I still think I'm one of the luckiest people I know. One of the things that I have always thought is truly fantastic about life on a boat is that you not only get to experience some incredible environments from the comfort of your own home, but you also get to follow the canal through some truly stunning locations, like here at Teamower Country Park, where one end you are met with the mighty Pontcysyllte Aqueduct, and a short walk down the River Dee you stumble upon an equally impressive viaduct. And while I was walking down here one morning, I was absolutely blown away to stumble across a pair of otters just going about their daily lives in the river. Truly stunning to just randomly find these in their natural habitat and spend a few minutes watching from the bank. On a particularly sunny walk, as I skirted along the river's edge, I was also fascinated to find this little pool of what I like to think were sunbathing fish. But for one serious moment, I'd like to stop the music and all the chatter and just give you the experience of being stood here with the roar of the river, having the almost privilege of being out in a place like this, looking up at these incredible structures. As with all things in life, boating has its good moments and its bad. Sometimes it's so bright you can barely see the canal ahead, and other times you're getting stung on the face by falling hailstones while you cling on to hope and look for the next place to moor up for some shelter and safety. The darkest time that I ever had on board was probably only a few months into my boat life, when I had the misfortune of having my bike stolen. And at that point, my bike was the only vehicle that I actually owned, so it was central to my mobility to commute to work, to visit friends and family, and anything else that needed me travelling further than a few miles from the boat. I can remember I was flat out broke at the time because I'd just bought a boat for one thing, but I ended up having to ride my dad's old bike, which I had memories of him riding when I was still growing up. And because my bike lights had been on the stolen bike when it vanished, I ended up having to sellotape torches to the handlebars of my dad's old bike to see down the country lanes on the dark winter nights. Even though there were some pretty down times back then, and I had no clue as to how much I would go on to enjoy the years afloat that I had ahead of me, and certainly facing my first long dark winter as a solo boater, I really honestly believe that one of the things that pulled me through it and helped me get a grip was the incredible, peaceful, calm, natural environment that I was in, that seeing this incredible, beautiful world outside that was just carrying on regardless of what type of bike I was riding, helped put things in perspective of how insignificant my problems actually were. And, well, thank goodness I didn't lose too much heart too early on in boat life and give it all up as a bad job. As time passed and I grew to absolutely love my life, whether I was out on the boat or up a mountain or down a mine or wherever life may take me, one of my friends went on to say one of the funniest and most pleasant lines about me that anyone's probably ever said, and that was that I was the only person they knew who, if I was given the chance to be reincarnated, would come back as myself again. And I've dwelt on that far too much over the years. And you know what? It's probably a true statement. And I don't say that because I think I've done anything particularly worthwhile or important or significant with my life. But I think it's that magical combination of being in these amazing places and doing it all while I was young. And it's something that I've said again and again and again over the years, that I'm truly grateful to have done this sort of in my prime, fittest phase of my life. And it's something many people who are retired and out and about on their boats have said to me over the years, that they wish they'd done it when they were younger and could truly have got out there and enjoyed everything with a fit young body. Although that's probably pushing the boat out a little bit for me at the prime of my life. I was active, but not necessarily a Herculean specimen of a man. But in all seriousness, as I'm entering into my mid-30s now, I can look back on the thousands of photos I've taken, the 1,000+ videos that are on this YouTube channel now, and the hundreds and hundreds of pages of writing that I've done that I actually decided to publish, yet alone all of the thousands of words that will never see the light of day. As I look back across all of these memories and the thousands upon thousands of tiny moments that make life what it is, I almost feel as if I should be looking back from a much older age than 34, and that I've somehow skipped decades of my life. And as much as this may sound like a dire thing to say, I certainly don't mean it in that way. I mean it as a positive thing for how grateful I am that if I went to sleep tonight and never woke up again, that I wouldn't be able to argue with anybody on the other side that life still owed me anything. And that's a pretty good position to be in my opinion. Now, if I can just stick around for another 34 years, who knows what I'll be looking back on. Maybe another boat in the very near future, but more on that soon. I hope that you've enjoyed this maybe overly reflective video, and I'll be completely honest, I was hoping that I would be coming back to YouTube and shocking my regular viewers by recording from a completely different boat, but well, life hasn't worked out like that, so plenty of time in the future for a shock and a surprise, I hope. I would also just like to plug the website and the books and all that sort of stuff. Check the links in the description. But importantly, I'd like to end this video by giving a lot of shout outs and thank yous to the channel supporters, the channel members, the PayPal supporters, and everybody in that theme. And I'm going to do the full list from the last year or so since I really started doing these shout outs, just to make sure that I've got everybody. So firstly, I'll say to everybody, thank you so much for tuning in. Keep it interesting, keep it boat worthy, and of course farewell. And now I'd like to say a big thank you to Chris Cole, Lynn and Victor 5854, Vic Smith, Mr. Quiet U 112, Paul L, Rory 58, Darren C, Glenn F, Peter R, JK Jensen, John B, Lydia B, CG, Adrian B, Alan K, J.J. Williams, 1984, Mark B, The Art of Production, Zoe L, Jeff, Donna, Adrian B, Landraver, Mark Bisson, William F, Ben, Charles Tree, Polygraphovich, Nick's Tax, and Christhorpe Junction. Thank you so much, everybody, and I will see you again very soon.